Happy birthday.
I don't know what to say.
Well, you could say thank you.
Thank you.
God damn it, Jim, what the hell's the matter with you? Other people have birthdays. Why are we treating yours like a funeral?
Bones, I don't want to be lectured.
All right. Guess who's having tech problems? Not Soul Bro, but me. No.
Yes. Finally.
Yeah. I found out the ISP is they're lying. They say, "Oh, we don't throttle anything. You'll get the service all the time." But it seems like every couple days around 6:30 Pacific, Spectrum just wants to drop my lines from 500 megs down to like 50. So. Me and Soul Bro actually had to go old school because we disposed of Discord and we're using Skype.
We're on Skype. Who knew we'd come back? So that's since 2017. Holy shit! It's crazy.
Skype. I feel like Michael Corleone. Every time I try to get out, they just pull me back in. It's Skype.
It's nuts, man. Yo, Skype always finds a way to get us back, man. Yo, even Zoom's having problems. It's like, yo, this is too much for us. People are using us a little too strong. Zoom was cool with like the occasional boardroom meeting, but now everybody's using it to do their work. And and Discord's getting overused, and now Skype is getting played, man. Who knows? Skype is holding it down, man. They've improved. Who knew?
It's funny how how we're finding out that our tech infrastructure is really garbage.
It is.
It can't handle any of this stuff. Right. I'm like, you gotta be. It's like, oh, we're the cutting edge. It's like, really? Are we? I mean, come on. People getting. Well, I think I think Zoom is. I think that's a byproduct of the Chinese government.
Man, yeah. that's what people were saying.
Zoom bomb. Yeah.
Be very careful what you say on Zoom, man. You might find that coming back at you. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Much.
Don't share government secrets on that motherfucker. Don't do it.
We're actually not allowed to use it.
That's what I heard. I heard it's been banned from government facilities. It's like if you work for the government, do not put that shit on your phone. Do not put that shit on the computer. It is not to be used there. So that's crazy.
Well, when this whole thing first started, we have Skype for Business, and just because the telework servers they're not used to thousands of people on it for my agency, and so the first week or so we were having problems, and their fix around was I guess they got they got a version of Zoom, and it's like I was gonna put it in and stuff because we were told it was okay, and it's like the next day they're like, don't use Zoom.
Don't do it.
Like it's like they just said because it's not it's not I guess it's not safe. And I've heard the things about the Zoom bombs, so that's kind of funny. And I'm like, to be honest with you, I haven't used it, but I've seen the interface on TV and stuff. I'm like, how is this really different than any other video company?
Right.
I mean, what makes this so special? Because it has a catchy name. It's not like Cisco Web Services or something.
It went from the thing my mom used for Bible study to like now being used by everybody. It's like, what?
Yeah, like Fortune 500 companies are like putting their, they're doing their super secretive meetings on it. It's like, what? And then some kid like a 15-year-old's like,
Wow.
during a board meeting. I think that's actually what's been happening.
Probably been flashing him his fucking unit during.
Probably. Probably.
Oh my god, man.
So yeah, man. As we know, when the apocalypse really goes in full force, Skype will still be there for us. It'll be our only means of communication.
Yeah. It seems to be Old Faithful at this point. So shout outs to Skype, man. Good shit.
I feel like it when you're like in these old like those hacker movies where they're talking about like, oh, we got to go on the old SATCOM systems that haven't been used in like 30 years. It's like, that's what Skype is. It's like, oh, we're on Discord. Oh, it's not working. Let's go old school on the old SATCOM systems.
we gotta break out the old Battlestar Galactica for this one.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
Or like in the last decent Die Hard 4.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when the Apple Kid was telling, like, his Apple Kid and Bruce Willis.
Oh yeah, that's right.
John McClane. And I remember that because
the Apple Kid
the other day, and he's like, "Oh, we just chat on the old SATCOM systems," and I'm like. And of course, John McClane's like, how do you learn how to do all this? I just learned how to smoke cigarettes and shoot people.
Shoot bad guys. Maybe do a little bit of detective work. Not too much, though.
Don't do too much. I'm not in Bad Boys. I don't have detectives detecting shit,
Yes.
And Soul Bro, I will watch Bad Boys for Life. It's on there. I just got to get some time to.
I haven't watched it either. So when you watch it, I'm watching it, and we'll
a week ago.
We'll wax
about
it.
I had to watch Bad Boys too.
Yeah.
I was like, I was in a funk. I'm like, oh, quarantine's got you down. I had to watch some Bad Boys too.
Like, bring those spirits right back up, baby.
Just from the music from Dr. Dre, which everybody forgets. Dr. Dre did the entire soundtrack.
He did, huh? Wow, man.
He did all of it. That's all his. You can't tell the whole music in the movie.
Holy shit! It's been a minute.
Oh my gosh! So yes, welcome to episode 220. Oh, we're 2 away, man. We're going to be 222, right? What was that show? 227.
227, man. Marla Gibbs, baby. Yeah, man. Marla Gibbs. Yo, Jack K.
Geeking out on that one.
Hell yeah, man! I grew up watching that show on Saturday nights. Back when brand new shows used to come on Saturday nights, guys. I know it's crazy, right? Usually Saturday nights is a time where nothing new comes on that everyone goes out and does shit. But it used to be a big night for sitcoms in America, man. 227, amen. Let's go. Yo, Golden Girls. Yo, Empty Nest. I'm ready. I'm there.
I don't get the Golden Girls thing. I really don't. Like, what is so great about that show?
That show was very well written, and the humor in that show was great. And to me, I love the dynamic between the four women, especially when you have like when you have B. Arthur's Dorothy versus her mother Sophia. Man, just the back and forths and the dialogue in that show, so well done, man. It's under, even though a lot of people love it, I still think it's understated on how good that show is, especially compared to other sitcoms at the time. Yo, man, Golden Girls is definitely up there, man. That's the shit.
Oh man, okay. I didn't realize I was dealing with a Goldie here.
There you go, man.
It seems like
Gundam's resident television nerd right here in the building.
Man, no, you're not the only one. There's a lot of people that are all about the Golden Girls. I'm like, really? Is it that groundbreaking? I'm like, I didn't realize it was that groundbreaking of a show until like everybody now is like all about it. So I guess everybody's just because what is it? Betty White is like a national treasure. We have to protect her. It was like coronavirus came out. They're like, Betty White is safe.
Betty White, stay safe, girl. Stay safe, man. She's been my favorite since Mary Tyler Moore show. So and Maude and with Mama's Family. Yo, she's been killing it for a long time, son. For a long ass time. Let's go.
There you go.
There you go.
But welcome to episode 220 of Gundam at MHQ. This is I'm coming to you from Freedom Bunker 19.
Indeed.
Soul Bro, I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know what bunker, if you have a bunker. But I do. I have all my foodstuffs here. Everything I need.
I'm coming to you live from the rat battles of New York.
No, you don't want to do that.
The rats have been fighting it out in New York, guys. I don't know if you know, but because of the lack of food and the lack of restaurants opening, rats are turning on each other, man. They go raiding each other. Oh, it's awful.
There's rat fights.
Ooh, rat fights. Dude, rats are figuring out how to trip traps. I just saw a video the other day where this rat had a pencil. It walked up to a rat trap, tripped it, and got the food. It's like, yo, what? What?
Well,
what is going on?
I've been seeing these articles, and there was some stuff out here, and then I saw one earlier today for like in South Africa, because there's such a lack of people out. All the animals are like showing up. It's like that. It's like that. That series, Life After People. Remember they had that series a couple years ago. They're like
indeed.
Life After People. I think everything's becoming Pipret. Because what is it? Pipret, that city outside of Chernobyl.
Oh, yeah.
The one that's like the ecological thing that they keep. They're like, basically all the animals have come back and everything like that. So.
It's crazy, man. Have you seen India? Like certain parts of India where monkeys would roam, in the streets and get food from the people that are there. They're fighting in the streets like mobs, waves of fucking monkeys.
Are you serious?
Oh, you need to watch the videos, dude. And on top of that, like some of the places of the world who you couldn't even see the sky because of all the smog, because of all the traffic. People are seeing the sky for the first time in years.
Oh.
They're seeing water clear up for
LA?
the first time in years. Yeah, LA. You right outside your window. Hell yeah, dude. It's crazy. I know you love driving the streets right now. It's fucking clear as fuck.
I actually haven't gone on the freeway in like 3 weeks. So last time I went to freeway, it was when and I've been out a couple times, but it's just been on the oh no, you know what? No, I'm sorry. I was on the freeway like 2 weeks ago, and one of the freeways, and it was completely dead. Yeah, they're saying they're like, I guess the highway patrol out here is like setting the record for like speeding tickets over 100 because they're catching all these people just because there's nobody on these freeways. There's no one.
Not
so I mean,
soul.
You're talking like 10, 12 lane freeways. Nothing.
It's funny. What's been keeping me up on the LA scene is I just every day because I do a lot of work where I just am like just constantly like number crunching and working on claims and stuff like that, right? So I'm listening to podcasts all day. I've been listening to Joe Rogan like straight on, and he's been telling me like he's been talking about just how clear the streets are in LA right now and just how crazy shit is. It's like a great time to go out and start hiking. all this crazy shit, man. It's like what? And I don't know what to tell you, man. It's weird times, dude. I feel bad for people who are being hurt by this time, but man, it's strange.
I walked out like every day or so, every other day. I try to go out and take a walk and stuff. Yeah. And I go out and there's a street that goes. It runs parallel. The street I live off runs parallel with Highway 1, and I'm like counting how many cars. Like the other day I was on there and I was probably out there for like 45 minutes. I counted 2 cars. Try.
That's madness.
It's insane.
Wow.
So
God damn, dude.
It's crazy, but
it's surreal, man. I like I said, I hope it comes to an end soon, but enjoy it while it lasts. I know that they're talking about reopening the country. I'll see how that's going to play out, but props to everybody who's watching, by the way. Thank you, Stream, for coming out tonight. If you're watching on YouTube or you're watching on Twitch, I see Ed the Crimson, Rob Adler, JK, Zaldrin, and so many others that are in the chat. Yazi, I see you, boy. And yes, I'm sure Neil would get to it in the news, so I'm gonna let him wax on that. But yes,
Yeah.
KG Fujiwara, R.I.P. Man, that guy, that hurt
Oh
me.
man, what are you killing the news?
Man,
What
no,
are you?
I'm just gonna say that, bro. When I woke up to that news this morning, and that knocked the wind out of me. But I'm gonna leave it up to you, sir. If you wanna take us to the news,
Yeah,
go for it.
as I'm sauntering over to the Larry King Memorial News Studio, and Larry King is still alive, everybody. So
Yeah,
just
man.
remember that. So,
Indeed.
I'll start off with this, and as always, if you have any news, you can always go to the Neos listeners submit a news articles thread in the Gundam section of the Mecha Talk forum, and well, it wouldn't be the news segment if it wasn't Rodimus 76 that was starting us off, and this is actually it's pretty unique. He says Robot Apocalypse news, but this is more Doctor Who news. This is Whovian news. I guess the some UK police force was using a Dalek, which is I hope I'm saying
Dalek?
that right.
Yeah, a Dalek.
Yeah,
there you go.
I'm not a huge. I've only watched the one season. I used to watch the old ones that were like on BBS as a kid, like the guy that was in like the tweed trench coat and stuff. I think he's like Sixth Doctor or something like that. I don't know.
I could know. I know a lot of Doctor Who fans and that are friends of mine, but I don't know. I couldn't tell you who's who except for my man from the thick of it who played the last Doctor, the old crotchety Doctor. That guy's one of my favorite actors of all time. But that's what's up.
Yeah, and the only real season I ever watched was when it was rebooted, the updated one with Christopher Eccleston.
Yes.
And that was on orders from our former overlord himself, our former Dalek himself, Chris. No, he told me, and I liked it. I just never finished on from that. And then. So, but yeah, all I know is that they're like some like robotic people that just want to exterminate. That's all I know. So yeah, I guess the Sanford police in the UK they posted up on their Twitter a video of a Dalek making sure that people are staying self-isolating, and it says it's hilarious. All humans must keep indoors. All humans must self-isolate by order of the Daleks. So it's hilarious.
They're behind this whole plot.
Who knew they were who they were that they were real? So thank you, Mr. Rodimus 76, for your submission. And yeah, Yazi 88 comes with some big time news posted earlier today. Kenji Fujiwara passed away at 55 due to cancer, and we would know him mostly as crazy ass Ali Al Sausage on Gundam 00, and I guess the war caught up with him.
Unfortunately, yeah, man. I say
he's also been in Shin Chan. He was Holland in Eureka 7, Nate Hughes in Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah.
Lenaro and Hunter x Hunter.
He's got a lot of Gundam credits too.
As
like Ali El Sanchez, as you mentioned, but he was in series going as far back as After War Gundam X. He played a smaller character.
Well, he's AC/DC in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yes, he is. I was going to bring that up in a minute, but yeah, he killed that role. Just him crying, because that character cries at a certain point in the middle of a fight, and when he does, it's hysterical. And he's known to be an incredible, just comedic voice actor too. So he really, really made that role memorable.
Well, I think the most impressive credit that he has here is he was the Japanese dub voice for Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark in the Avengers film.
Matter of fact, we heard him play his voice, because I believe he also voiced that character in the animes. Let me double check here. If I go down, I should have the Iron.
He was in that Iron Man anime.
In the Iron Man anime, if I scroll down here, Iron Man. Yep, here we go. He was Iron Man TV, the TV anime. He was Tony Stark Iron Man, and The Rise of the Technoboard, which we both reviewed both of those on the show, and we watched it in Japanese. So yeah, he was the voice of Tony Stark in both of those as well. So yeah, man. He's been a part of our lives. If you watch anime in Japanese over the last 30 years, you were exposed to this man, and
Yeah.
he definitely stole the show. I mean, Hunter x Hunter fans really mourn today. I saw a scene where he zoom punched the shit out of somebody, his character, and it was freaking nuts. But he really went in on that character, dude. And I should get on Hunter just to take in that show. But the people are gonna miss him, especially since that show comes back every once in a while, and that character is still in the show. It makes you wonder who they're gonna get to voice him in that. And he also is the voice of remember in 8th MS Team Elidor? I guess he was a
Elidor?
rocker. He was Elidor in 8th MS
Ah.
Team. Yeah, Elidor Mathis. That's his character's name. He was in that. So he was in Victory Gundam as Batstraf Masaryk. He's been in a bunch of stuff, man. He's got a lot of bold on his Anime News Network profile, so that's already a lot of win right there. He's played Megatron. Yeah, man, he's gone too soon, man. Damn.
Especially for the Japanese, because it seems like they're so long-lived on, especially those voice actors and stuff. But because Ikeda's still around. Oh man, that's gonna be a dark day.
Keep him locked up, y'all. Keep him out of harm's way, man. We can't lose him, dude.
I don't want to have to do that. Goddamn, we have to announce that. That in the chat.
Yeah,
I can't.
That'd be tough episodes, boy.
And actually, Soul Bro, did you realize? I realized something when I was purveying the Twitter.
Yeah, what's up?
Not only do we follow the Admiral, but the Admiral follows us.
Oh yes, absolutely.
That's awesome.
And for years.
I felt so proud.
Yeah, man,
I didn't know that.
He's very active on Twitter too, man. He's a good dude, man.
Yeah.
My man Edward James Olmos, man. Love that guy, dude. He's a phenomenal dude, and I just the fact that he followed us mad early. He's been following us probably for almost a decade at this point, I believe. So
I should reach out to him one day. I should just DM him and say, "Hey, you want to come on our show? We'll talk about anything you want to talk about." I think it'd be fascinating. So that'd be so. But yeah, thanks Yazi88 for that submission, and yeah, big news there. Next one here comes from Rodimus76, and to celebrate the Gundam, well, I guess it would be the Gundam 41st anniversary now, but that store Unoko, they're gonna have a special collection of looks like some Gunplas that they're going to be having. Last year they had a bunch of t-shirts there. I remember going in there and seeing that, but the only problem is all the normal sizes were always bought out so quickly. So because they had some cool ones of MSG. So, but yeah, check that out. And they got the Zaku. Char's Zaku, of course, and a red-white version of the RX-78-2. So, actually pretty cool, huh? So, check that out. Oh, and then Rodimus76 comes back with another submission here. It looks like there is a Gundam bike. Let's see. It's from Kotaku. It says there's a Gundam bike in this economy. And it looks like Suzuki decided they wanted to do a Gundam bike, presumably Gundam-related reasons. So there was no reason why they did it, but it was done by an American company called Icon Motorsports.
Oh, shit!
In about 30 days, yeah. And yeah, I'm not a huge bike person either, but this is pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I like it.
So
it's pretty nice looking. Wow, look at it from the front, man! Holy shit!
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. The way they changed the headlight, where it's the eyes.
Yes.
You know, that red. So definitely pretty cool stuff.
Nice.
Oh, I remember seeing this, and this Rodimus76 comes back with some robot apocalypse news, and I saw this on a different website, but the university students in Japan that walk via graduation with iPads on robots that have a cap and gown. Yeah, you know, because of the whole situation that's going on,
yeah,
a lot of people,
that's right.
This is graduation time, so a lot of people can't do the walk. So I guess this university in Japan they probably put them on Zoom, and and there's robots with iPads as faces with a cap and gown on it, and they're handing out diplomas to them. I mean, it's silly, but they definitely meant well on that. So yeah, they're graduating remotely with the help of robots. But yeah, this is where we let our guard down, because now we're gonna say, oh, robots will help us. Nope.
That's how this is how they get us. That's how they sneak their ways into our lives.
I'll pose this question out there. How do we know the robots didn't create coronavirus?
Oh, shit. Yo, the conspiracy theories continue.
Maybe it's a robot controlling a corona bottling factory. We don't know. How do we know?
Just becomes so complex.
This and we need that guy off the History Channel that always bloviates about the ancient aliens. The guy with the huge hair and the bad tan.
Giorgio or something? Yo, my man with the bad hair. Oh, I love that guy. Guy's amazing.
The guy with the Londo
Yes!
Londo hair from Babylon 5.
He looks like he's straight out of Babylon 5. Every time I see him, I was like, yo, he's keeping the faith, baby. He's keeping the faith. Yes.
He's Londo's love child. So.
Amazing.
But Rodimus 76 is going to finish up with a double dose, Soul Bro, double dose of Sorbet news. We haven't had this in a long time, a double dose. And it looks like the latest Bad Boys for Life, the third of the Bad Boys trilogy, because we always knew it was intended to be a trilogy. Not really, but it was. But it looks like the directors of this movie were given specific instructions from Sorbet himself, and he basically told them, "Don't fuck up my baby." So, and I guess they did their best, and I haven't seen it, but I guess there are a few Michael Bay shots in there, of course. So slow motion 360 shots. So, but yeah, so that's pretty interesting. That was the only thing that they asked when they asked him, how do we do this well, and he said, "Don't fuck it up." No pressure.
Yo, sage words. Jesus.
And Soul Bro, did you realize? And I guess this was in the original plan. You remember Six Underground, the highly explosive, highly mindless, but yet somewhat satisfying. You can't turn away from it movie on Netflix. Indeed. Because it violates everything. Because it's not even. It's from a different time. It is from a completely different time. So, I mean, I will warn people, if you're easily offended by things, don't watch that movie, because you will be offended, because it's got every trope there is. But, yeah, somehow it's become a trilogy.
Wow.
I guess Netflix is like, because it's reported that over 80 million people watched it in the first month. 80 million people.
It's crazy popular, man.
Wow. Wow. What would that be? Oh my gosh. Let me just do a quick calculation here. What's the average ticket price at a movie, Soul Bro? $15?
I'd probably say about 13, 14, I'd say, yeah. At least in most cities. I know in your neck of the woods, it's probably like $20 a ticket, but
yeah, I was like, that's a deal. I'm just gonna say 15, just for.
Yeah, I think that's a fair number.
Wow,
it's a lot,
man. That's a $1 billion film. It's a $1.2 billion film.
Well, good thing Netflix got a lot of subscribers.
That's on a gross. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, well,
oh my gosh.
Big action budget films might start to come to streaming services overall, because right now, movie theaters are in a pinch. AMC's about to declare bankruptcy, and they put themselves in a bad situation. They're $5 billion in debt, so that's them. Other movie theaters, they're hanging tight. Hopefully, they'll get bailed out by some of the legislation getting passed. Because if you're gonna bail out other major corporations, I think that some of these smaller smaller. I mean, movie theaters. I mean, they're not small businesses, but they're smaller than some of the corporations that are getting a little bit of a relief. But there are a lot of places that people do like to go and congregate and just go out and socialize. And there's a lot of money in those industries, so I don't see why you wouldn't help them.
Is there really money in the industry?
There's money in the movie industry in general when it comes to the studios and the places that they go to.
Studios.
Atlanta gets a lot of revenue from a lot of the.
No, that's fine. But I'm saying the movie theaters. I don't know if there's money in those.
Oh, I mean, they barely make a profit. Yeah, they do need to change and they need to improve, but I don't know how they can, being that they don't make any money off of the initial release of films. It's not until the movie's been out for a couple of weeks that they start to really make money. But they do make money off as the concessions, and either they find a new way to make money off those concessions, or this might be the evolution of us transitioning to watching movies solely at home. Although I do suspect that the drive-in theater is going to have a big old comeback. I do think that, especially since there's one mega one that's being built up the street from us. A huge drive-in theater that's being built. And it couldn't come at a better time. Because if people want to go out to the movies, they can just drive into the drive-in movie and not have to worry about getting in contact with anyone. It's not a bad deal. It really isn't. So
yeah, but how good is that picture going to be?
I don't know. I mean, the technology has improved vastly. So digital projectors and all that stuff. It's outside, but it's at night too. And so we'll see what happens. But I know they have to take that into an account if they're going to have people come out and see movies. That
box in, are you going to put that box in your window, or are you going to tune into a station?
I would imagine Bluetooth would be the way to go. I'm sure there might be a way that you can connect your radio physically to it if you want to, but I think Bluetooth is probably how people are going to connect to it. I just don't see why would not be the case.
Bluetooth through your car?
Yeah, like they might have a receptor on the thing, and then it connects to the Bluetooth on your car.
Yeah, okay, that makes more sense.
We're in the 21st century. That should be the way they're doing it. So hopefully that's how it is. But we'll see. But man, I do.
Man.
Times are changing.
Six Underground is going to become a. It looks like, it wasn't. It seems like it wasn't planned, but they're saying here it left itself open to sequels. I guess I saw the movie. I didn't really get that, but I guess you could sit there and say that
it was left open because they still had work to do. So I mean, they're still together as a team, and
it's the loosest plot movie I've ever seen. I mean. I think they got somebody from just strictly out of school to write the screenplay, and then all the other planning and money went to just the explosions and the action scenes, because it makes no sense. That first sequence alone, which is bonkers crazy while they're going through the car, it made no sense. I'm like, what is this all about? Like, I'm like, okay, a bunch of stuff blew up. This is cool. There's a point where he's holding the guy's eyeball and stuff like that. And I'm like, but what? But you can't look away. You can't look away on that movie. I don't know what it is about it. I mean, Sir Bay, you know us too well.
Indeed.
He really does. He really does, doesn't he? So
he's something else.
But yeah, thank you everybody for your submissions. Soul Bro, do you have anything on the breaking news front? Do you have anything there?
I do.
How many times did you die in Gundam Versus?
Oh my god! Well, no, actually, I'm glad you brought that up because shout outs to the Black Cat over on Twitter. He reminds us that the beta is about to go live for Gundam Versus. Basically, if you got there's a special scenario.
Get all your quarantine frustrations out on Soul Bro.
Indeed. If you bought the Japanese digital copy of Maxi Boost On, they're allowing players early access to the game starting from June 21st. Players can play the game every Sunday until release day. As of right now, no other region is offering this. So right now, doesn't extend to people outside of Japan. But the beta is about to go live in a couple of, I think, next week. So I know the beta keys for Guilty Gear Strive came out, and I actually got 2 of them. So if there's someone out there that I know loves Guilty Gear and they want to get in on the beta, let me know.
Man.
I'll see what happens. But Strive's beta is this weekend. Matter of fact, starts at midnight in just an hour and some change. So I'm about to jump on that shit after this show's over. But Yeah, Guilty Gear.
Is Guilty Gear still as good as it used to be?
If you see that game, if you see Guilty Gear Strive, I don't know if you've seen any video of it, but it looks incredible. The way they've taken that technology with that animation is fan-fucking-tastic, dude. The animation almost looks like it looks hand-drawn, but it's super fluid, especially when they zoom in on doing the character supers and stuff like that. Well, the beta's this weekend, and we're all going to be testing it. I'm going to be doing a written
What about the butt rock? How is the butt rock?
It's even more butt rock than ever. And they double down on the fucking music, dude. It's ridiculous. When the lyrics in the song is "Now it's bullshit blazing."
Are you serious?
I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. The bullshit will be blazing this weekend, y'all. And speaking of which, just want to let you guys know I'll be streaming all throughout the weekend for the beta. So if you guys want to check that out, I had the links up here. Let's see if I can find it again. But yeah, I'll be streaming all weekend over on Fighters Ready. So twitch.tv/Fighters Ready, starting tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the beta goes live at 11 for people playing online, but you can play it offline starting from midnight till midnight tomorrow, so you can play it offline with people or in your house, or play it in training mode and all that stuff. So they're giving people a really good time to play that beta, and hopefully Gundam Versus Maxi Boost will be the same when we get that thing. SBR, you gotta play the song for Neo. I'll see if I can close out the stream with it, so people can check that out. But yeah, I'm excited, and hopefully I get the keys for Gundam Versus, and a bunch of the people watching will get it. Check your emails. According to
so is my girl still in that? The one that looks like Rurouni Kenshin? That I forget what that girl's name was.
Biken
with the Biken, yeah.
Oh no, she hasn't been announced yet. They've only announced 9 characters.
That was the nasty character, because I always wanted to get good with that, because I used to see people. I always saw people online get good with it, that were good with it, and I was like, oh my god, this is the nastiest character.
She's hard to use. She's incredible in Guilty Gear Zerd, which is the game that came before this new one, and she's fantastic, man. They changed her design a little bit, but I love her supers, because one of them ends with like it shows like a duel behind a closed door inside of a Japanese a traditional Japanese home, and then she slashes the person, and then like everything slashes, like it pans out to the foreground, and then everything, like you see all the house slash, the little statue slash, everything gets slashed in one fell swoop. So it's great, man. And I think Arc System Works has really stepped up their game. I think they're showing a lot of animators how to do this, how to take traditional 2D animation and transition it to 3D models, and it's incredible, man. I can't wait to get in on this. But Gundam Versus, next week, hopefully we'll know if you're in the beta or not. Check your emails if you registered with that.
Oh, man.
So there's that. I also wanted to just give a shout out to The Wonder. For those who are very familiar with Shinjuku Station podcasting, The Wonder's birthday is going to be in about an hour and 9 minutes. So if you know The Wonder on Twitter, hit him up at The Wonder 2D. That's the THE Wonder, WONDER 2 as in the number, and then D Delta, and wish him a happy birthday. April 17th is his birthday, so let him know that we sent you. So that's what's going on there. My wife was out in the living room playing Final Fantasy VII. It looks like she went to bed. That fucking remake is amazing, by the way. Yo,
is it really that good?
So I didn't even think I'd get pulled in. I was like, I don't really care. But then she started playing it, and it's like, yo, this is cool. It gives me a Devil May Cry vibe when you play it, because it's constant action when you get into those fights, and you have to manage a lot of stuff. It's kind of like Devil May Cry, but with a bit of an RPG slant to it.
But still turn based.
Yeah, I mean it's active based, but there's turn based elements to it. So, it's fun, and it's like
the later versions of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, man, they've really streamlined it, but at the same time, they've expanded it so much. I gotta say, I'm quite impressed with what I've played so far.
I heard the support characters they really fleshed out a lot. That's one of the things I heard too. Yeah, a lot of the side quests are a lot better.
Yeah, at the very beginning, when you get to a certain town, you get to do a lot of jobs, but they're fun to do, and you get to really get a feel for how to play the characters. I'm back in love with Tifa again. She's always been one of my favorites, but and even Barrett has been fleshed out. So I haven't seen anybody else besides those 3, but
I'm sure they look 10 times better than what they originally looked like. Or Barrett, oh my god,
it's one of the best looking games I've ever seen, man. And the fact that it just looks so good. Yeah, and Jesse is thirsty as fuck, JK. That is no doubt. Jesse though, Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ.
it makes me. I've been kind of thinking about jumping back into that stuff too.
I
But,
think you'll dig it, man. It's not.
I played the other one, so
Oh,
I
of
dig
course.
that, and I like Final Fantasy. But
Yeah. Seven is definitely. It's right now. It's looking real strong to be game of the year, but it's real early, and a lot of games yet to come out. But it's impressed me, and I didn't think it would. So there's that. But other than that, man, shout outs to Brian Dennehy. He also passed away today.
shout outs to him.
Rest in peace, Brian Dennehy.
Yeah. Shout out. Glad to hear you
man.
died. I mean, what the heck, man?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to fire up Tommy Boy and watch that this weekend, man. He killed in that movie, and so did my man. What's his name? The actor that played Tommy
Chris
Boy himself,
Farley.
Chris Farley. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, the other David Spade killed it.
Yeah,
Everybody killed him,
David Spade is the
actually.
shit in that movie. Yeah, he is.
Isn't Rob Lowe the douchebag in that one too?
He's the dick who's like working with the stepwife to
because he's a douchebag in a lot of things. He was a douchebag in another. Oh, Wayne's World. He was a douchebag in Wayne's World too.
Wasn't he also in Austin Powers, like the second one or some shit? I remember he was in one of the.
He was young number
There you
two.
go. Yes, he was.
He was the young version of
Robert Wagner. Robert Wagner.
Robert Wagner.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, he's the young. Yeah.
Oh man, fun shit.
Yeah, for a while there, he was just always like the pretty boy douchebag.
Yes. Until Chris Traeger on Parks and Rec, that's when he became a legend. That guy's the best. But that's it for me, man. Thanks.
Yeah, I forgot about Tommy Boy. That is a funny movie.
That's a great movie, man. I love that shit. It's easily my favorite David Spade movie. That's for sure. I do like Joe Dirt though. Joe Dirt is the shit. I will go to bat for Joe Dirt. I will do that. But that's it for me, man. I'll pass it back to you. And,
all right.
We'll get it popping.
Oh, man. So thank you, everybody, for submitting. And like always, if you have any news stories, go to the Neos Listen and submit a news articles thread in the Gundam section of the Mecha Talk forum. And Soul Bro, are you ready to go back in time?
Oh, shit. Are we going back?
Simpler time.
Toilets and mechas? I see you. Let's go.
So Soul Bro, are you a Kuntala or are you what consumes Kuntalas?
No, I'm a Kuntala.
That's what I'd
baby.
like to know.
Kuntala all day, baby. Kuntala, please.
Tell him Soul Bro. Yes, it's
yeah.
that time. I know everybody's been waiting for this. Our return to the Regal century.
I'm in the struggle.
That great period after the Universal century. You know, such a uneventful century.
Or technically after the correct century, which was it's after Tourney
that's
Gundam.
right.
Yeah, the correct century.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's all right. That's all right. That's why I'm here.
That's yeah. Feel like some Century Color. What about you?
Oh,
You want
gross.
some Century Color?
Don't do that to me. Don't.
Damn,
Awful. Never.
the one song I thought you would love. It's like the first time I heard this, I'm like, this is a Soul Bro song. Because I didn't have a problem with it. You're like, I hate Century Color, man. Fuck that song. I'm like,
I love Turn A Turn to Death, but Century Color
Turn A is good.
That's
yeah,
my
Turn A
joint.
is good. But... Okay.
Century Color. Yo, Ed wrote Million Color. Never, son. Oh my God, it's like that and Animation 9 could go burn in a fire all day together.
Well, Animation 9 is just
Oof.
dumb. Like it's so dumb. It's kind of cute at this
People love
point.
it though.
Like,
They love it. Oof.
I just like watching it with the animation because I like, I like Ape. I like Skull the Ape to like, Caveman to Armoro. Like,
I have nothing wrong with the sequence. I think that both the sequences that make up those intros are fine.
I don't know what Tomino was on when he did that, and it's and then he was so lazy. He's like, "Oh, we're gonna put Char in this," and it's like, "Oh, you'll get a movie with Char."
Right?
Okay, we'll take Char out, but let's just leave Char in. Where is Char except for like he shows up in a vision once? I think.
We'll drop this little promise of Char in here. Don't worry, you'll see him. He'll be in the show. Motherfuckers never showed up.
No, he was technically there. He was in a vision, but other than that, yeah, it's
What we got is Glimmy though. we got Glemmy. That's unforgivable.
Yes, we will always say that Wings of Words is bad.
Ooh, Wings of Words. Man, I tried to blot that out of my mind. Thank you for reminding me. I don't know you guessing.
That might be one of the worst. That might be one of the worst.
Yo, Rob says Wings of Words is a classic. Hey, good luck. You guys can bump that shit for real.
just like all of Destiny, there was so much promise in the beginning. It's like, wow, the first 13 episodes, much better than Seed. Oh God, the first intro, not bad. The second intro, butt rock, I'm with.
Yeah,
it.
that was the joint.
Cool, everything's good, and then it's like,
Wings
we're gonna have a wedding, and everything goes to shit.
Yes. Oh, what a bad look. Oh.
Man, but yes, we're going to be talking about Gundam Reconguista in G Movie 1 Go Core Fighter.
Woohoo!
So, basically, this is the first 5 episodes of the show. And it looks like that's basically what they did, is they spliced in the first 5 episodes of the show. Because I did some research, and I didn't see too much on anything new. If anybody out there sees that, I didn't do hard research on this, but I looked out there and I was like, is there anything new in there? I didn't see anything. I did see a mistake at one point.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah, and I guess before we go into that, Soul Bro, what are some of the things that you found great about the movie Go Core Fighter?
Well, I tried going into this to try to forget like what the things about the show, the details about the show in general. So I stayed away from anything that would kind of help give me a refresher. I wanted this movie to do the job of kind of introducing the world to me and introducing the characters to me, and I think it does a solid job. You don't really get to know them all that well, but the movie goes pretty fast. It's only an hour and a half. But I do love the fact that Tomino always likes to focus on his characters and his storytelling when it comes down to that. I think the thing about Tomino is that he may write really robust scripts, but you only have 22 minutes to get something across. So there must be a lot of things taken out. So motivations get lost in translation, maybe the thoughts of the characters, maybe all sorts of details that we should know about the characters that we don't, and he only has an economy to kind of get things across to you with the characters. So it's been something apparent in Tomino's works, and it's definitely apparent in this show. But Tomino's characters, they do act like characters of their age. I can definitely tell you that in a lot of ways he can definitely capture teenagers, and he's been doing it for years. And in this show, teenagers are rash, they do stupid things, they're kind of too eager in the situation that sometimes gives thought. And I love the fact that Bellry's not presented as an angst-filled character in this. He's kind of on deck with what they're doing, and then finds himself in the middle of a strange situation where he's kind of being pulled towards one way and being pulled from another. So I always appreciated his character for that. His dynamic with Ida is also pretty interesting, because we know ultimately that you find out that they're siblings, but the fact that she hates him from the get-go because he was only trying to defend her when old Cahill was hit my dude with the 100 crack fist, and he had to regulate.
Is he an ancestor? Is he a descendant of Bernie?
Oh, he might as well be, because he got roasted. He got roasted for real.
That part at the end of that fight, when they put the flashlight in the beam saber hole of the cockpit,
yes!
And the guy just looks in there and he just kind of shakes his head. I'm like, damn.
And my man was hitting on Ida too, man. He was the dream boat, and he got that beam right to him, dude. It just goes to show that there's always a sacrifice in a lot of Gundam series, whether you're Gene or Denim, or you're my man Cahill.
Yeah.
It's always a sacrifice to get the plot going, and my man Cahill had to be the guy. And Bellry, I didn't think I killed him. I've never killed anyone. It's like, yeah, when you kill someone, it's usually the first time.
Yeah.
Most people don't go around, killing motherfuckers. But he did what he had to do because this guy was punching at him. The cockpit was open. This girl could have fell out and got crushed. He was kind of in a desperate situation. So I don't blame Bellry. But at the same time, I get it. She didn't think she was in any kind of harm. She just wanted to not be in harm's way at the time that my man Cahill got carried away, and Bellry had to do what he had to do, and it's kind of like a unwinnable scenario. But he has to come up from there, and their dynamic has to build from the worst case scenario. So that's one of the earlier aspects of the series that I do dig quite a bit. Rariah is interesting to get introduced to her character again. I don't know if she was this mentally challenged in the original series, but she seems even being more dependent on the people around her now, and you can see that she's starting to come back to her senses slowly but surely. But at the same time, you can see that she's very mentally damaged, and I think this movie gets that across more than I remember in the series. So that's an interesting aspect to her character. It's wild looking at this movie and knowing all the plot threads and where they go. Because back when we watched this, it was crazy confusion. So I'm actually, although I tried to forget the plot threads and whatnot, I'm still seeing it through experienced eyes, which is an interesting thing about this. Some of the other positives, the animation has stepped up. They've definitely touched up the animation in a lot of places.
Yeah, they did touch it up.
They did. Yeah. Like you could just see in some of the characters' movements and some of the mecha battles and whatnot, it does look really good. I'm not going to front. And I always like the art style presented in this series, man. The artist for this, if I can look him up, that gentleman's name is, I saw it here. His name is Kenichi Yoshida. He worked on Overman King Gainer and Eureka 7, and he definitely, I didn't really express enough appreciation when we reviewed the show about his art style and about the presentation in this series on how they represent.
Well, because you can tell he also borrows from Turn A.
Yes.
Like, it's got the King Gainer look, but it borrows a lot from Turn A.
The art style looks similar. It looks very similar to Kino Yoshida's, the Kino Nishimura's art style too. I wish they kind of got her back to do this. Maybe she worked on this show in some way, shape, or form. I'm not sure, but his animation styles or his character designs are very organic, and I like how unique he makes different characters and how they pop off the screen, even if they're bit players. My man Adam Smith with the Dr. Wily hair, dude. Oh my guy, he just needs to shave it all off. I don't know why what he's waiting for, really. But yeah, I actually quite enjoyed watching this. I know that it's gonna hit a train wreck soon, but I'm hoping that as each volume progresses, that he cuts the fat. He makes the story make more sense, because if you remember, Tomino apologized for how the show was received, and this show was a hit in Japan. For those who don't know, this show actually did quite well. It did quite well when it aired. The DVD sold well. I believe it was like 22nd best-selling anime of the year it came out, which is pretty high out of all the anime that gets produced in Japan. So it wasn't a flop by any way, shape, or form. I know that Gundam Age was a flop, if I recall. I think that show didn't do quite as well as people had hoped. But G-Reco did all right. But it had a shorter run, too. So there's there. Yazi says it started off well, but sales were dropping. But it wasn't an abject failure, and there was warned enough success to make these movies, and I hope this is Tomino's mulligan to make things better in the storyline and to kind of clarify a few things. I love a series that can give you kind of a broad tapestry, but keeps this laser focus on his characters. Just don't tell me everything that's going on in the background and not give us a little more of it. It is what it is. G-Reco as a series works differently from the other Gundam series, where it starts out in a small place and then the scope broadens as the series goes out and the characters become bigger players in the series. That's not G-Reco. G-Reco, even though there is a major battle towards the end of the show, it's more so kind of a personal thing between characters, and they kind of keep a personal scope on the characters. So I have an appreciation for it, but we'll see how these movies go along. Anyway, back to you, Neo.
Yeah, I'd have to second on that. I actually found, and it's going to be tough because this was always the more enjoyable part of the show, was probably like the first 10 episodes.
Oh yeah.
Because there was a lot there. There was always something going on in that typical Tomino fashion. You have a little bit of a lull, then you have the attack, and you can see that. I mean, that's what it is, and basically, in this hour and a half, you have the first 5 episodes, and all the fat is trimmed out. I think that's the best way of seeing it. Even though there is a mistake, and I don't know if you caught it, Soul Bro, but remember when the attack happens at the castle there, at the research facility, and they're trying to go to the Hangar 25, and they're trying to save Ida out of the jail.
Yeah.
There's a point where Bellry starts talking with her, and it cuts off. He's in the middle of like starting a speech, and it abruptly cuts off. And then the next thing you know, you'll have to watch it again. It's pretty funny. I was like, wait a second. She asked him something. He started talking, and then all of a sudden, it stopped, and then they're at the end of the stairwell. I was like, that's weird. So, but it definitely looks like it's touched up. Visually, it just looks amazing. I mean, that style does work for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know what's so good about it. Even the G self in its weird bug-eyed way is it's not gross, because you think about it, if you like described it, you're like, oh, it'd be kind of gross, but in some weird way it does it is kind of eye-catching. I mean, it feels like a better way of watching the show.
Yeah.
Now, I'm wondering how this is going to work out towards like movie 4 and 5, when we're really in a lot of the mess of the show, where we just really don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's the true test.
That's going to be the true test.
It is.
And I'm wondering if that's where they're going to put the money to, like, maybe put some new scenes and maybe do some a little bit of recanting of the tale. But it makes sense to me that this first movie you wouldn't have too much new scenes or added scenes, because it just didn't make sense. And I'm glad to see the toilet scene made the cut.
Oh, yes.
That.
Still the greatest introduction of a character in probably the Tomino series ever. The first shot you get of this man, he just finished peeing. The toilet is flushing. It's like, yo, of course.
Yeah.
Yo, Clem Nick, man, you're the best.
And it fits him, because immediately you're like, oh, this is going to be the douchey, like, wannabe, like, ace guy, but then you just learn to like him, because the good thing about him is he actually he understands his faults. Like the part where the Montero loses his fingers, he's like, he's like, damn, dude, cut my fingers off. And then he's like, when what's his face, the capital, oh god, what's that guy, Dellinson, when he tells him to retreat, and he's like, yeah, he's like singing to himself, like, damn, he told those guys to retreat. That's a really good soldier.
Yeah, I remember that was in the original as well. But
no, I'm just saying that's what that's what makes that character so great, because he's one of the shining points of the whole entire show, I think. But
it really is. I never expected him to be a character like that to be in the series.
Because you're expecting him to be the annoying, douchey, like, pilot rival. He's overstating his role. He's always thinking he's better than what he is, and it's like, damn, he's actually giving people some love and stuff. So, but so Soul Bro, what about things that went wrong for you? Anything bad?
Well, the pace, because they're cramming 5 episodes. Yeah. The pace is super fast. You don't get a moment to be grounded. You don't really get to know the characters all that much, which is something I mentioned. But also, I was hoping that this movie would give you a little bit more insight on Mask and him becoming Mask. You get introduced to Luin Lee. He is kind of a wallflower in the first episode. You almost won't notice him. And then when he puts on that optical, whatever the hell it is, and he becomes swole all of a sudden, and he almost exhibits a different personality wearing that mask. It's like, where did that come from? What is the genesis of that? He went from being just like an average trainee to becoming like a guy who ends up being a main character in the series. And I've been watching his transition throughout the series and his evolution. It's like, well, what is his deal really? You know, besides being a Kuntala and being oppressed and wanting to, you know, kind of lead his people into having a foothold in the new world. But you know, we really just don't get to really know him all that much. So I'm hoping the movies, and maybe movies 2 and 3, might give us a bit more insight on his character. But I was hoping this movie would give us a little bit more time with him and introduce him, because he's the main antagonist. We kind of need to get to know him, and so I'm hoping that these movies do a better job of that. I'll just have to be patient and wait to see.
And maybe they'll insert some more explanation of what happened with the Kuntalas and the dark history a little bit, or the transition from the Universal Century.
I like the politics of this series, and I would like to know more about it instead of it being breezed over. I'd like to know more about the politics, the state of the world, and get more invested in the people's struggle. You know, that's what I want with these revisions.
It almost seemed like Tomino was the wrong guy to do that. It's like you could bring him in there and you could have him do like a lot of the fight scenes and design the characters, but when it comes to political intrigue, he's not always the best on political intrigue.
He needs staff for that. He needs motherfuckers that can help him kind of bring that to life. And I'm sure there's plenty of talented people around Sunrise that could help him to do that. But they're probably working on other shows. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. I think this was it's the last big contract that you give to him. It's because he was given everything on this one. You know, he directed, he wrote, he did everything. So it was like, I think it was Sunrise saying, yeah, we kind of screwed you over a couple times. Let's just give you one last hurrah where you have control of everything, and it'll probably work out okay.
Like, I agree with Mecha-san. Mecha-san says, get the writers from 00. That'd have been a dream come true for this.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, those motherfuckers would have been in there, and they would have definitely helped to flesh this out. And maybe they had some of them on staff, but maybe it was just Tomino's vision, and maybe he just wasn't down with fleshing out the politics and whatnot, and just leaving it to be kind of window dressing while what he wanted to be at the forefront was at the forefront. It's just my main complaint about I know there's been like this resurgence for G-Reco, and people are saying, oh, it's a great show, you guys just don't understand it. It's like, no, it does have flaws, and you need to point them out. It's not fucking flawless at all.
It's far from a great show.
And I could definitely
you could come back and say it's maybe you don't view it as harshly as you did, but it's, I mean, even in this hour and a half with a lot of that fat cut out, you're like, this show still was lacking in a lot of ways. So,
and Yazi says that Turn A politics were done well. I agree. Turn A's world is so well established. Like, the first couple episodes of that show helped to establish that world and what Laurent is up against and the struggle between both sides. It does a very good job of fleshing it out. And I watched it with a bad translation initially, dude, and I still could figure things out. Yet, you know, G-Reco, it was translated very well, but still it was confusing, and there's a lot of things that were wrong with it. And I love elaborate plots in my shit. I love that shit. So don't even fucking route me out. I don't like simple shit at all. I love elaborate fucking tapestries and stories all the time. I get off on that shit. So I was hoping the show would have expressed that, and it just didn't do it all that well. But Neil, what you were saying?
Well, I mean, Turn A is a different thing, though, too. You didn't even see the Turn A, the Gundam, until, the third episode, I think?
It took its time.
So that's a whole different thing. And, I mean, you don't need all these big tapestries. Sometimes you just have to tell a good story, and you know, you don't have to do all these elaborate plot twists and all these other things, because sometimes you can do too much of that, and then it ends up being like crap, like, you know, Lost or something like that. So, I mean, in terms of this movie and for what it is for G-Reco, I think it helps. I think in some ways it's, once again, these compilation movies, they're really not for the people that don't understand what's already going on. It's almost like a speed run through the series for you. You know, I think in a lot of ways that's what it seems like, because it really feels that way. because it seemed like they did cut out a lot of the dragging stuff. But we're going to be coming up to, I think movie 2 should be okay. It's probably 3 and 4 is when we start really getting bogged down, and it starts kind of going all over the place. So I'm gonna reserve judgment until we get to that point. Yeah. So, anything else on movie 1?
Ultimately, I enjoyed it for the most part. Some of the glaring
Did you
issues.
Did you enjoy it more than the first 5 episodes?
Well, the first 5 episodes I was lost, but going into this movie, I now know the framework of the plot, unless Tomino plans to change things. So I'm looking at. I couldn't help but look at it through educated eyes.
I'm wondering if he will. I wonder if he's going to go first Gundam trilogy,
or Zeta Gundam,
where he kind of switches it up a little bit, and
he would have the freedom to do that if he wanted to take this in a different direction. If the movies do well, and then the last 2 movies could be something completely different than what we remember in the show, I'm cool with that. It wants to go a different place. It's a new translation. That's cool. I don't think it will. I think it's gonna just be
it's not a new translation.
Yeah, it's gonna be its own. It's gonna just encapsulate what was in the series.
And that's still mixed anyways. As much as I don't mind the new translation, the ending of Zeta is so good. I mean, Camille ended up worse than Armoro. Like, as much as Armoro bitched about how bad he had it after the war, it's like Camille became brain dead, basically. He became a child. He had his brain fried.
That's a rough go. It's still maybe. If you think about all the Tomino series, besides the characters that got killed, and the series ended where like a total.
It's the grimmest ending.
It is definitely Zeta is ending. That's why some people don't like Zeta, because it just continues to get melancholy throughout its entire run until you get the ending that you get. But it just shows the horrors of war and how it can how it can just lay damage upon the generation that is embroiled within it, man. I love Zeta to death. I still think that's Tomino's best work. I'll put it up against anything that he's done, and he's done some great shit. But to me, Zeta is like the balance of like positive and negative. It's such a great sequel to Gundam, because Mobile Suit Gundam, you could just put that on the fucking pedestal by itself, because that series got everything started. But Zeta took what that series had and then put kind of a more refined edge on it, and it just was something that was great for the time. Especially, it was the midst of the Cold War too, so it kind of has elements that reflect that too.
Think about what he did. He took the main character, ended up losing in the end. I mean, he won the battle, but he ended up losing. He came out like, he didn't die.
It's a Pyrrhic victory.
It's a very Pyrrhic victory.
Sure is. Ooh. And this series, it ends up on a much more brighter note, but then again, I'm of a mixed bag with this series, and I'm glad we're revisiting it in these movies. I thought going back to this first movie was going to be a fucking drag, and I actually enjoyed it. Yeah. I actually didn't fucking dislike it all that much, and I know what we're gonna be anticipating. So these other movies are looming in the future, and movie 2 already came out in Japan, I think on the 21st of February. So
we'll be touching upon that
once that becomes available to us. Then we'll definitely check that out too. And man, I enjoyed it for what it was.
Anything else before we go into some ratings?
I think we're good to go. I think I'm good to go.
So Soul Bro, what are you gonna rate Gundam Reconguista NG movie 1 Go Core Fighter?
Yo, I'm gonna give it a
even though you really don't see the Core Fighter that much.
Yo, I'm gonna go Mitt Romney and give it a conservative review of 3.25 undernuts out of 5. You guys thought I was gonna say, I forget that fish's name. What's that fish in that bottle? I forget, man. Dodo Ya or something. I don't even remember. The chat will help me out. But Raraya's fish, I'm sure.
Oh, Dodo Ya, I think. Yeah.
Something. Choo me. Thank you, Yazi. Good shit. That's what's up. Good game.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to give it 3 Klimnik pre-flushes.
I wonder if Klimniks having trouble finding toilet paper like the rest of the world.
No. They solved that problem in the Regaled Century.
Yo, keep that man well stocked.
That was Universal Century. That was Universal Century issues.
Yeah. Yes. Good shit.
I still do love I mean, I still did love the point where they went into the museum and I'm like they show all the old suits. They have the Dios, the Doms, and they're like all these classics. I'm like, wait, some of these suits look better than yours.
Right? And and those suits are over 1,000 years old.
Yeah.
The mad old suits is like, yo, these still fucking function. I mean, these still are intact at least to stand up.
I think it had there was the gun cannon. There was one of the, I think with the really cool GM with the I think it was
with the Nemo.
Not the Nemo. No, it was the GM with the one little antenna and then the Rick Diaz and all that. And I was like sitting there and I was like, wait a second, this guy's crapping on these. I'm like, they're 10 times better than what he's got.
Damn that shit.
Okay.
Yo, if the Zeta was in there jumping that shit in a hot second.
Oh,
and they could have been just statues. Mecha-san brought that out. They could have been recreations. They could have been statues. They could have been any number of things.
They look like statues.
I'm not sure. I'm sure they're not the ones from way back when. I'm sure they're just recreations of some kind, whether they're statues or they're just replicate.
They were all gray.
Yeah,
unless they were like Transformers and they.
Yes.
Optimus Prime was at the end. Oh, he was there actually.
Yo, Prime. I still fuck shit.
Yeah, the James gun. That's what it was. The GM. Yeah.
Oh,
it was the James gun.
Yo, that's his whole government.
No. The cool ass jobber suit in Victory.
Oh yes, good shit, man.
The James gun, it was a freaking cool ass suit. Yeah,
like the director on James Gunn, like what's it, fucking Guardians of the Galaxy? I'm kidding. It's weird that it's called the James Gunn and that man's name is James Gunn. Good shit.
Well, I'd rather go into battle with the James Gunn than the James Gunn.
Indeed.
So
indeed.
Yeah. So. But so that's our review of movie 1. Of course, it's kind of short, but what else were we going to say?
Yeah.
I mean, there really wasn't anything new, and they just kind of trimmed everything. So, but it was actually much more enjoyable than so. But Soul Bro, any tweets?
Yeah, we got this interesting one from Yazi. And matter of fact, when I was on stream with Yazi a couple of weeks ago, we were playing, and one of the things we're going to play on Saturday is Everybody's Golf on the PlayStation 4. If you got that game, come on out. You might be able to get a couple of rounds around the links with us on Everybody's Golf.
The heavy gun was in F91. That was the jobber suit in F91. There's a whole battle going on between the heavy gun, the James gun, and the javelin. Because I remember the javelin was I think that was the low rent version of the James gun. I think it was the javelin.
The James gun. I can't get that shit out of my head now. Good shit.
Makes me want to watch Victory, but then I'm like, it'll take me a year to watch it because I'm gonna watch a couple episodes to get depressed and will not be able to watch it for a few days.
Man, I get the itch to watch it too because I just want to see something horrible. I mean, I love the series. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes I just need.
The javelin. The javelin was a strong unit. That's right. I knew one of them was. God, I haven't seen that show in a long time. Yeah, that's right. It had the Lancer's backpack.
It's a tough watch, boy. It's a tough ass watch. My God, but yo, shout out to Yazi.
Yeah, nothing's worse than a movie with a kid that sees his mom's decapitated head in a helmet. And with all his friends, and they just start crying. That's when you knew. That's when you knew. It was like, this was not your father's Gundam.
We should do a top. Ooh. We should do a top 10 horrific moments in Gundam. I don't think we've ever done that. We talked about like the crazy things that have happened in the series, but top 10 horrific,
like horrifying stuff,
horrifying shit that you've seen in Gundam series. I have to go back and look and just think about it, but that is one of them.
If you did top 10, I think 40% of them will be from Victory.
Oh yes. Yes, indeed, no doubt. I don't doubt it at all.
And you can't take the Strike Girls as you can't take them as individuals. They
No.
all have to be one
Lump them all
horrific
together.
moment because they all had their own episode of death.
Oh, Yossi points out we did the top 10 worst deaths in Gundam. We just did the top 10 worst things you've ever seen, or horrific things you've seen in Gundam series. Top 10 horrific mother and child scenes, and mother and child deaths. Oof.
Well, that would be Seed. That one where they showed the mother and child always getting blown up.
Oh yeah.
When the plant that was nuked. What about the mother in F91 that gets boinked in the head with the shell casing?
Wow.
From remember at the beginning
Yes.
that the little baby?
Yeah,
I forget
man.
the little
That shit
baby's
was
name.
terrible. That shit was the
So-
worst. Oh my god, yo, Tomino. Why? Oh. But
Okay,
Back-
what would you say worse than Zeta outside of M Machine? Worse than Zeta outside of M Machine?
deaths, I would definitely point out fucking was it not is it oh Jaburo, dude, the tension of when I hate Jared.
I always thought
I hate Jared, but dude, I was like, yo, you need to get on that fucking plane, son. You need to get on that fucking plane like now. And then
when they
Maurer
do-
was
when
on
they
there. Oh yeah, when they nuked the shit out of Jaburo, it's like, oh, that sucks.
that poor GM that didn't make it, that was sitting there and just oh god.
Oh, brutal. Oh
Yeah,
man,
that was some sinister shit that they did.
it was. That's why
you
that
guys
show
are-
was so goddamn good. It's like, yo, the Titans
Oh.
don't fuck around, son. They don't fuck around. They're the worst. Man.
dumbass Henkin
Mm-hmm.
moving the radish to protect Emma, and it was like he just got blown up. I was like, you gotta be kidding.
The
I
whole
still will
shit.
say I still have to say the best death in there is the Jamaican setup by Yazan.
Oh, yes.
He's just daring Camille to hit him.
Oh.
He's like right in front of the bridge. He's like, oh, dip.
I was reminded of what's his name? Not Jamaican,
Jamaican.
but nah. What's
Ass?
his? No, the asshole Sting. Well, you just mentioned his name. Yazan Cable. Thank you. I was reminded of him because there's a great compilation that's hit the internet of all the hits, all the punches and kicks, and all the times that people were hit in Zeta Gundam. It's a great compilation. If you've never seen it, please find that shit. It's amazing. And there's one scene where he just soft slaps the shit out of Jared, and it's hilarious.
He was the only Titan you liked because he really wasn't a Titan. He was just completely out for himself.
The
like
wild
he
card,
completely knew what the game was.
Yes.
He was like, and he played it so well.
He did.
Oh my god.
Fucking maniac.
Oh, that setup on Jamaican was the best because he hated Jamaican and they hated each other. Jamaican's like, oh yeah, Yazan's right in front of us. He'll protect us.
The audience stood up
No.
and applauded. He became the series hero when he did that shit.
Oh.
Oh, fucking maniac, that guy, man. I love that dude.
Oh, that was the best.
Piece of shit. Didn't he kill Emma? I think he had something to do with Emma's death, right?
He killed Emma too.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
He killed cats too.
yeah, he
so-
did, right? Oh,
Yeah.
well, you know what? I can't
We
completely
applaud
hate him.
him. We applaud him.
I can't completely hate him.
Oh, he's such an asshole, but he
God.
was so good. Oh man.
Yeah, man.
But-
There's a lot of horrific moments in Gundam, man. But,
Somebody said in the chat the Bikini Girl's bean saber. That was
that was pretty rough. I was pretty fucking rough. Like I'm seeing that, it's like I'm at that point in time. By the time you get there in victory, you've seen it all. So when you get to that point, it's like, yo, this just, fuck it. What else they gonna throw at me? Oh, and then, you know, one of the most horrific moments in Gundam, the fucking Angel. Was it Angel Halo?
Oh,
Angel. Oh my god.
the Angel Halo or the one that hit the? Were you talking Seed or the?
I'm talking about Victory, Angel
Oh,
Halo.
the Angel Halo.
All the people inside.
Yeah, they
All
started
the
falling
people,
off.
and they started falling out. Like, man, I
my
was like,
God.
man, Tomino was not fucking around in the show. He was
Or,
lying.
well, Yazzie, Real Rock guy was just hilarious
Yo,
because
Real
he was
Rock
so cocky. He's like, oh, he's just like sitting there going through all the decoys. He's like, oh no, this is a real rocker. Dumbass. Fucking dumb ass. No, I was thinking of I forget the big giant grips laser in Seed that roasted the moon base in Seed when they all popped. You know, they all just started popping. That was horrible.
You talking about fucking Alaska? When Alaska
that
got it was Alaska. Yeah, man, that shit. I'm
that
trying
Alaska?
to remember when they were Anchorage.
I thought they did that in the moon too.
No, they may have, but I remember they were trying to escape Anchorage.
Oh
or
yeah,
someplace.
they did that too.
There was a base. There was a Federation base at Alaska, and that place got lit up. That place got roasted. People just popping like popcorn. Oh wow, they had Gundam.
Yeah, because it was that was their same thing with the what was it, the Blue Cosmos, the they were like the Titans type of thing. They were the super racist people or whatever.
They were super racist, boy, no doubt. Space racism, boy, still
and
going strong.
And of course, Gundam gives us the stupidest deaths, like Oliver. I'm going to run into a spinning wheel on a giant battleship. So,
classic.
So the Twitter.
Yes.
I don't think we even need to do that episode now.
I think we got it nailed. But and of course we always have to mention the colony drop on Australia, of course. And matter of fact, we just saw that again recently.
Or actually brought to us better in narrative.
Yes, in narrative, exactly. Narrative put a whole new sheen on it.
They just love that. They love going back to that.
That's Old Faithful right there. But back a couple weeks ago, we were on stream, and Yazzie brought to my attention that the voice actor for Bellry, Mark Ishii, is currently not working. He had kind of let's say, medical issues that he had to deal with. And so I don't know if I'm guessing he voices Bellry in at least the first parts of this movie. These first two movies, but I don't know if he's going to be voicing them in all the different versions, all the different movies that come out. But I just want to read this tweet. He says, Mark Ishii, Bellry's VA, is not working, also dropped by his agency. Likely will be replaced after the second movie or third movie, depending on how much voice recordings were done at the end of 2019. So if you guys were interested or wondering when the voice changes, why that is, there's more to the story than that. I won't get into it, but I will say that I hope he makes a full recovery, and I hope that his quality of life returns to something much better. So props to Mark Ishii, man, and I enjoyed his performances. So there you go. What's up, man? And,
any other ones?
No, that's really the other ones.
Damn.
There you go. The other ones have to do with some stuff we talked about. I'll bring this up. The Black Cat hit us up with this one about ratings for Gundam. When it comes to Gundam, in the original Mobile Suit Gundam series, when it aired in the late 1970s, early 80s, not one episode of the show reached above a 10% average, which we know. We know the show was an abject failure when it aired on Japanese television, but here's a graph of all the episodes when they hit and where they ranked in the ratings at the time. In 1979 going into 1980. So that's an interesting thing he points up, and shout out to the Black Cat for that.
What's the average? Probably about, what, a 6, it looks like?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I do see some of them, and none of them got above 10, so, but I do see some of them hit above about 15 here, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, but you know what? I wonder how much, well, proportionally, I'm wondering the number of people. Because 6% of the, well, it's a different factor. It's not a true percentage. I was just trying to think. I'm like, it'd probably be better than what you would get now because.
Oh, okay. So TV Asahi was originally aired on. So the bottom chart of trajectory is the original airing of the show. It looks like.
And then that's the syndication above it.
And that's the syndication above it. That's when it got its second life in syndication. I'm sure.
Funny how that stuff works. Yeah, and what about Doan's Island?
Doan's Island got mad low. Let me see here. Doan's Island is... There we go.
So
episode 15. Oh, that shit is deep. So is the Threat of Zeon. Holy shit. Is that the bomb episode? Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, that might be Time Be Still. That's Time Be Still. Never mind. I love that episode. You guys hate that shit to death. Time
Is
Be
that
Still is the episode where they put the bombs on the mobile suit. I love that episode. It's it's so gimmicky, but I fucking love it, man. I'm so sorry.
This guy's gonna be a great. This guy's a great pilot. I'd like to meet him. It's like, wait, you completely forgot that your fight for freedom and the number one thing standing in the way, and you guys put like an hour on it, an hour on these time, and then you just watch everybody taking them off. I'm like, don't any of you have a gun? I mean, you're just impressed because they could figure out your stupid plan. I mean, come on. No wonder Xeon lost.
No wonder.
I mean, it was ridiculous. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Stupid. Yeah, that
good stuff.
Yeah,
fucking
classic junk.
Bunch of junk.
I think I'd rather watch Doan's Island again.
Woo! Damn.
That thing's just so embarrassing just because the Gundam on all fours is just like, ugh. And then I don't know what is worse, the fight scene in Macross or just Doan's Island, because I mean, ugh, the animation's so bad.
The knife fight. I mean,
knife fight.
Yeah, it's so good, man.
So.
But yeah, man, that's pretty much it, man. Thanks everybody for tuning in for the stream tonight, man. If you haven't done it already, if it's your first time watching tonight, hit the thumbs up on the video, and that helps us out a great deal. It gets us noticed. You know, maybe one day we can have ads on the show and make a little money. Who knows? But hit the thumbs up, hit the bell. Hit the bell over on YouTube for notification subscription for your subscription if you haven't subscribed already. If you're watching over on Twitch, hit that follow button over on twitch.tv/level_9. Over on YouTube, you can watch on youtube.com/GundamMAHQ/live, which the channel is going through a revision right now, so new content's going to be coming up in the future.
I was wondering, and we forgot to talk about this in the news. Something changed about us.
Yeah, that's right. If you guys may have noticed that the logo has changed a bit. So, and I have to update the MAHQ.net section of the screen you're looking at right now. But Gundam and MAHQ logo is been updated. I have to get a better version of that picture up there, but I was able to throw that together just today.
Yeah, we got that today. Yeah,
just today. So shout outs to Chris for getting that supplied to us. But that's the new Gundam and MAHQ logo. And big changes are coming to MAHQ.net. So definitely be on the lookout. Make sure to visit MAHQ.net as well. And what were you gonna say?
I will say this. People need to contact me because I just found a thing of stickers of the old logo. So contact me and maybe I'll get those out to you.
Oh my god!
The classic logo.
The classic logo. Holy shit!
The classic logo. Yeah, we've been around so long that we actually have a classic logo now.
Yo, Rob Mallard says, "Bring back anime toilet, man. We gotta find something." Man, you guys have any suggestions?
I'm sure there's plenty out there we could find. I mean,
there's a new channel that just started up called Retro Crush. It shows a lot of retro anime and it's free. It's a channel. It's an app that you can download for your phone or on I think Roku, but it's called Retro Crush, and they have a lot of old anime on there of all sorts of types. And I wonder if there's a lot of old mecha shows on there. So I gotta look to see what's up there. We go Crystal Triangle, Fred, for real. He says, "Do it." I'll die watching it, Fred. Don't do this to me. Jesus.
We're in a quarantine right now. We don't want him to die. Yeah.
Do it for anime toilet, yo, Yazi. Stop. Do it, you cowards. Yes. Woo! Crystal Triangle. Ooh.
Never know. We may do it.
My brain will bleed out of my ears.
Probably. Yeah.
Fucking awful.
Probably jump off the roof.
Watching that at Harmageddon. Oof, please don't. Ooh, no way.
Harmageddon.
Harmageddon. As opposed to Armageddon, which was far more watchable than Harmageddon, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Indeed. But, you watch some of the anime Jaden Smith made? You talking about that Toblerone anime? What's it called? Yuki. It's on Netflix, I know that much. It's called, I forget. My brain is fucking Swiss cheese tonight.
Why is he still allowed to do stuff? Like, a lot of celebrities have children that have no talent, but he really has no talent. Like, I don't get it. Like, is Will Smith that powerful that he can still get his kid jobs and
There's a
money
lot-
to do things?
There's a lot of creativity that comes from struggling. He's never had to struggle, so he thinks everything he makes is good. So no one
here's
has
the
told
thing,
him
though.
no.
People are allowing him
And-
to do this. Like this is what's so screwed up in the world is there's people out there that are struggling that actually do good stuff, but they don't have the name recognition.
Exactly.
And nobody wants to take a chance on them. But you have because he's Will Smith's kid, so somehow this is going to be good.
I was watching.
Will Smith hasn't even done anything good in the last couple of years.
You know, it's funny. I was actually speaking of nepotism. I was watching something, and I think the world of this guy. He's actually not that bad. But I was watching something on National Geographic. They have a show called Brain Games on there, and they showed a test where they had this art gallery, right? And at this art gallery, it was in L.A., and they were showing off the artwork of Colin Hanks, Tom Hanks' son, right? So the people came there to see the artwork, and they said, "Oh, this is great." Tom Hanks' son was there, talking to everybody, being very welcoming and just asking people what they thought of his paintings, and they all gave him good reviews, right? Then the other side of the test was they dressed Colin Hanks up. They put a beard on him and disguised him so that no one recognized who he was,
like undercover boss, or
something like that. And then they welcomed a whole new slew of people to the gallery, and people were honest about the artwork with him, not knowing who he was, and that he didn't come off as any celebrity, right? And they told him the truth about his art. They gave more honest opinions instead of being what they call the halo effect. If you're around someone famous and you're seeing something that they've put out there, you're more apt to say something kind to them because they're famous, and that it's like, well, that's great, that's great work, blah blah blah. But you're under the halo effect, which is something that's super important to remember. If you're around someone famous, don't get caught into the halo effect if you can. Like just don't just take things for what they are. Don't be rude, of course, but realize if you're under the halo effect and try to pull out of that shit. Just like,
well, it's also that, and it's the other thing of you can respect somebody for their work, but then they can be an awful human being.
Yeah, that's true.
And the best example of this is Kevin Spacey. He's a great actor. He's a horrible human being. And I mean, there are some people that once they find out stuff, I know people that, there's people about Michael Jackson. That's the other debate. People are like, oh, he did such horrible things, I can't listen to anything that he does.
Oh yeah.
But it's you have to divorce all that. And it's the same thing. It's very interesting how because you have almost a reverse halo effect on that, where it's they do something bad and everybody's like, oh, we can't admit that they're good. And it's okay, I don't know if Michael Jackson did all this, but god damn, Billie Jean's a good song. It's Kevin Spacey, he's a horrible human being.
Awful.
But damn it,
he can act.
These roles.
Jesus Christ. Hell, fucking what's his name? That director that oh my god, from the 60s.
They've been putting up with that forever.
Roman Polanski. Yeah, he did some horrible shit. Man, some shit's just coming out now, and there's this book that came out not too long ago where it actually details the Manson murders and MK Ultra, the mind. The mental drug experiments that the CIA was doing, how that it was all connected, and they discovered that Roman Polanski was doing some pretty fucked up things to Sharon Tate even before she died. So yeah, man, that guy's all sorts of fucked. He just came out with a movie the other day, and you'll never see it on these shores, not officially distributed because of all the shit he's done. So yeah, Roman Polanski, man, people love his movies, but he's done some fucked up things.
Or Woody Allen.
Woody Allen, yeah, man,
he's the other one.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're right. There is it's a weird thing, and it's I mean, but it just shows you that the idea that you can be good at and talented at something, and if you don't have name recognition, it's a hell of a lot harder to break through than Jaden Smith. I'm sorry, but the apple falls far from the tree on that one.
Very fucking far.
It's not even the fact. I mean, yeah, I've seen Tom Hanks' son. He's an okay actor.
Yeah, I like Colin Hanks.
He's okay.
He's in the shadow of his dad,
And I mean, yes, he did get this. He got the you know, he was able to break through because he was Tom Hanks' son.
Yeah.
You know, but he's, you know, he's a little far from the tree, but he's not horrible.
Yeah.
The only son that I think is halfway decent now is Denzel's kid. What's his face? Was it John David Washington or whatever?
Yeah, John David Washington. I was excited to see he was in Black Klansman.
Yeah, and he was in Ballers too.
And he's also in the new Christopher Nolan movie. What's it called? Tenet. The new Christopher Nolan movie, which is possibly about time travel. We don't quite know. That was going to come out this summer. We don't know when the fuck it's coming out now, but that trailer looks badass. And he's the main lead.
Maybe it already has. It is time travel. So.
Who knows? Who knows,
Maybe
man?
I've already seen it.
It's crazy, man. But yeah, he's good. You know what's funny? The son of Patrick Warburton. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Talon Warburton. That man sounds just like his dad. It's fucking weird. And his voice is in Final Fantasy VII, the remake. There's a guard in one of the small towns you go to in the beginning of the game. You would swear it's Patrick Warburton. You would swear that's Putty talking to you, or Brock Sampson. I was like, yo, that's Brock Sampson. Turns out, no, it's his fucking son. And he sounds just like his dad. So I don't know if he looks like his dad, but I just found out, it's like, oh, that's not Patrick, that's Talon? Yo, damn, good shit. Some people carried along. Jeff Bridges, man. We always got him. The dude.
Yeah.
Lloyd Bridges was the shit.
Oh man, somebody brought up Syl Bosby. Yeah, Syl Bosby was a regular on Gundam, but yeah, he's no longer around because of what his brother did.
Indeed.
So I mean,
yeah. Yo, shout out to Show. He says I'm cool with Kurt Russell's kid. Yo, his Kurt Russell's kid is the shit. He's all right, man. He's gonna be a U.S. agent whenever the fuck that Falcon and the Winter Soldier show comes out. So I'm excited for that.
5 years from now.
5 years, right? Damn. Ooh.
5 years from now, when we actually get new content,
Indeed.
You know, people will be rediscovering all this stuff. I'm wondering at what point that the Netflix. I'm sure they're watching this. Or like, people are starting to rewatch shit they just watched like 2 months ago.
Hey man, new season of Ozark is out, man. I enjoyed the fuck out of that. So don't get caught up. And Better Call Saul's about to wrap up, man. Get caught up on that, guys. Get caught up.
There you go.
Man.
There you go. Or rewatch Victory Gundam.
There you go.
Depressed.
There you go. Get mad depressed, yo.
But you could always think that that's better than just sitting in quarantine. It's like,
take your mind off of being on house arrest.
Yeah, it's like house arrest isn't that bad.
Yes.
I could be killed in a mobile suit holding up a mass driver.
Exactly. Yo, Rob, you on that Better Call Saul? I see you, boy. Fucking season's been golden, dude. I got one word for you. I got one word for you, Robert. I got one word. Lalo. You know what time it is. Let's go.
I gotta catch up on that. I've seen the first season. It's good. I will say this, and if you've ever seen The Terror, the first season, only watch that one. That show's amazing, because I found out from a good source that it's kind of like Heroes. The second season's terrible.
Oh no.
But the first season's amazing. It's such a good. So that's on Hulu. Check that out. That's a good one.
Wasn't it an AMC show? And then I guess now it's on.
It was.
Okay, gotcha.
It's an AMC show that every season is a different. It's based off of the. I forget what the first one. It's a famous expedition, British expedition to the North Pole that was lost. I think it's. Oh God, it's very famous, and it's based off that, and it's a play on how they never found these guys, and I think they found like some graves or something like that, and I think they eventually found one of the ships like many years later, and but yeah, watch it. It's freaking, and it's a good time, spooky, because it's not overly violent. It's just like scary. Like there's tension. And the fact that it's rooted in some history, it's only 10 episodes. It's outstanding. But I heard the second one that's based in the Japanese internment camp that has Sulu in it is not as good. It's not as good though.
Damn.
Yeah.
You think they're gonna cover Roanoke? What's that city? That town is that Roanoke?
Roanoke.
I wonder if they'll cover Roanoke and the mystery behind that. Who knows? Maybe that'll be season 3 or some season in the future.
But it's good stuff. So, but all right. Anything else before we go?
I think I'm gonna for those who are watching the stream, if you guys go over the Fighters Ready after the stream ends, I think we're gonna stream my my first trial of Guilty Gear. It's not gonna be a very long stream. It's probably gonna be like 30 minutes because I gotta go to bed, unfortunately. But yeah, Guilty Gear Strive. There's no online matches yet, but you can play the computer and you can go to training. So I'm just gonna throw up a stream real quick over on Fighters Ready on Twitch. If you guys want to check that out,
watch the AI beat Soul Bro's ass.
Indeed, and you probably will see that. So come on out.
Guilty Gear, so it probably will happen.
It probably will. But come on and check that out.
This shit's on easy. What the hell?
Oops. I'm old as fuck now. But indeed, I'll be getting on that and messing around with that once the demo unlocks at midnight. So that's in just a little bit. So that's pretty much
7 minutes.
Indeed. But props to everybody. Thank you for coming out and watching the stream. Make sure to visit mahq.net. That's the Mecha and Anime headquarters. Lots of changes coming there soon. Also go to mechatalk.net. That is the official forums for the MAHQ website. And go there and join the conversation. Find us on Twitter. Find us on Facebook as well. MAHQ1 is the group. You can go there and join. And join the conversation there too. But thank you very much, and you guys already know the links to the stream, so thank you for watching those. And other than that, back to you, man. Episode 220 in the year 2020, man. Holy shit!
Oh my gosh, 220 in the year 2020. So thank you everybody thank you for coming out. Broadcasting from Freedom Bunker 19, Soul Bro broadcasting from the Soul Bro fighting game sports complex.
Indeed.
Yes. Got to make it sound better than what it is. Got to sell it. But we'll be back in a few weeks with some more Gundam and MHQ. Take it easy.
So it's been a lot of fun, but, well, I guess that's all.
You were jealous that your husband was stripping Yvette. That's why you killed him, too.
Yes. Yes, I did it. I killed Yvette. I hated her so much. It flames on the side of my face, breathing, heaving breaths, heaving.
I'll give you 3 shots to save your daddy's life.
You son of a bitch.
Shoot the rope. And if it breaks, your daddy can live. You got my word.
You can do it, darling. I'll always love you. Now, just remember that. Now, come on. That's close enough.